IPO.
Finish all the visual viewer.
For
the moment, already.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, maybe we don't need this answer at all or anything.
Yes.
That would simplify.
I updated the link in the
Push that whole implementation of that thing gone. It'll complicate the way I was envisioning each of the different handlers to look. But maybe that's okay because I've already given each of them 5 days. So they're all done in parallel, but yeah.
I'm about to join that thing. Sorry guys. We're good. Let's see. Oh yeah, that works. It works. That's
Okay. The next workflow hyperlink. Well, these screen. Okay. There he is.
Hey guys.
Hi G. Hey G.
Can you say something again, G?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hey. Yeah. Gee, so do you want to get started? I'm just gonna broadcast the new links in the Slack so that people can join. Actually, let's give it a few more minutes before, so that people can get the new links and join us.
Yeah, I saw like Apple guys wants to join as well.
This is why we should have just read my own design. That second period. We need to maintain some state as multiple calls of each type come in.
And so that you can say someone is already attached, we don't.
For the input, yeah.
That should be easy to do the map.
Yeah, but I'll need to put some map in there, I guess. As long as that's okay, then we probably don't need an extra actor. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's the only thing then. Even if you have to do it, it shouldn't take more than like a day. It was like 7 days or something, right? So for that, so I wasn't sure what it is.
So I didn't quite know all that was going to be involved in it. Actually, I didn't put any day estimates for that. I don't know where those ones come from.
Okay. The links sent out.
I didn't have a JIRA for this thing though until yesterday. But not for the actor at least.
Okay, just got it. Yeah.
Should we start? Or you want to wait for?
I think
Let us start. Okay.
We're already 10 minutes past, so.
Let's get started.
Okay, so I'm gonna demo a new feature we add into Mesos 1.1. Well, it's not released yet, but it's about to be released. It's called pod task group nested container. So I'm gonna show you some demo on that. Share my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, select it.
Okay.
Whenever you talk, we can't see it, so just don't talk.
Oh.
We're fixing it now.
Could you enlarge it a little bit?
Sorry for my eyesight.
All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna launch a master first.
Can you move the button?
Can you make it bigger?
Yeah.
Make it a little bigger, G, please.
So it's not just my problem.
A little bigger? Okay.
That's good enough.
There's no.
Is it good enough?
Yeah.
That's a little too big.
All right.
That's good.
That's good.
Okay. So actually, I'm gonna start a master first on my local machine. So actually, let me switch to full screen. All right. So I start a master. So I'm gonna connect to the master using UI and then see the master is up. I'm gonna go back to the command line. I'm gonna start the agent. Oh shit. Okay. Do you know how to fix this one? Sorry, I should have run this beforehand so that I don't need to do this. I start the agent. If you go back to the UI.
I think there's one more space that you missed, G.
Hmm?
I think you missed one more space in your flags.
It's running.
Yeah, it started. Yeah.
There's extra spaces in between the flags. Right?
Yeah, it's extra space is okay. So the agent is connected. I'm gonna show you one command that I'm gonna run, which is the so if you go to I'm gonna use the Mesos-execute to run a task group. So that's the definition of the task group. So I'm gonna launch two tasks. One is called producer, one is called consumer. So the producer, what the producer does is it use some CPU and memory and does very simple thing, basically use a touch something in a volume. It creates a volume in its parent container sandbox called share volume, and it's mounted inside a container in /volume. And the image that the container use is Alpine, and it will just basically like get the current date and touch a file using the same, use that name, use the date as the name, and just sleep 1 second and do that forever. So that's called producer. And there's a consumer container in the same task group, which basically ls this share volume. So attach the same share volume and then basically do an ls on that share volume. And that's pretty much it. I'm going to just launch this task group using Mesos-execute. So the command I'm going to use here. So the command is pretty simple. I just use -- master and then -- task group equals to this JSON file, and then just file this one. And you can see two tasks in task group both are running right now. And if you go back to the UI, you can see both producer and consumer are running. If you click either of done, you can see they're part of the same executor, and both of them are running. If you click the sandbox, actually let me click the sandbox of the consumer. If you go to std out, you're gonna see the files created by the producer. It's keep cleaning those dates since it's 1 second each, so you can see it's showing up every second. If you look at the sandbox layout, if you click the default executor sandbox, you can see actually, so that's the executor's box. So the executor has two containers running. So if you click containers, and there's two containers running, if you click either of them, you can see the logs for each nested container. And you can actually see the share volume is actually on top level executor container as well. If you click a share volume, then you can see all the file created by the producer. And there's another folder called tasks, which basically it's a symlink between the task ID to the actual container ID in the sandbox. So this is just simplify people finding those nested container using task ID. And that's pretty much it. So that's the demo. Any question?
I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
So for people who aren't on this stuff like myself, I don't actually know what level the group is grouping stuff. Is it at the container level? Is it at the executor level?
Okay, so actually I have some slides. Let me actually show you some slides.
Okay. Just some background.
Yeah, actually there's some slides that I can show you guys.
Okay.
So yeah, so basically like how we support task group. So basically like to support pod-like feature, we need two set of like APIs in Mesos. One is called task group. So basically the framework has a way to send multiple tasks atomically to the executor. So previously, if you want to send 2 tasks to an executor, it's likely that one task reached the executor and the other task get dropped somewhere. So this is not ideal for pod-like feature because if like you want to start all the containers in the pod simultaneously, you don't want any tasks. Like for example, it's not okay to start some sidecar without like starting your main container. So one of the property of pod is like you have to make sure all the tasks, all the containers in the executor reach the executor simultaneously. It's all or nothing semantics. So that's the task group API. And the other API we add to Mesos is the agent API, which allows an arbitrary executor to create a nested container. So this is the agent API we introduced. We add 3 calls to agent API, which is basically launch nested container, wait nested container, kill nested container. So basically how it works is this. So say you have a container already running, your executor is already running, then the executor decides to say, hey, I'm gonna create a nested container underneath my container. So actually go back. So this is the high level architecture of the nested container. Basically, like previously, you have a container, you have an executor, and the executor have multiple tasks, but those tasks don't have any resource isolation between them. So it's up to the executor to execute those tasks. There's no resource isolation at all. I think the new primitive add allow an executor to create 2 nested container underneath the top level container so that these 2 tasks can have separate resource constraint and they can do proper resource isolation. And also we can give those nested container a Docker image to run so that they can run different Docker images. So this is the animation. So basically like when the executor wants to create a nested container, it sends a launch to the Mesos agent. The Mesos agent will be responsible for launching the nested container properly nested under the top level container. I say in this case, the executor wants to launch an Nginx nested container. It will just call launch and the containerizer will prepare the Nginx subcontainer for that. And there's another API called watch. So basically things like executor, so basically agent is the one that launched the Nginx nested container. So how do I get the access status of that nested container? So what we do is we create another API called called wait. So the executor will say, hey, I want to wait for the container to be terminated. And when the container actually gone, the agent will get the access status of the nested container and send back the correct exit code back to the executor. So the executor can decide what to do next based on the exit code. Another nice thing about this nested container API is it supports arbitrary level of nesting, so it can have more than 2 levels of nesting. So one use case for that is like, say, I can have a debug container. Say I want to debug the Nginx nested container. I can create a 3-level nested container called debug underneath the Nginx nested container so that you can do proper debugging. So the operator can actually hit the agent API to create a even nested level container underneath the Nginx container. So that's another use of this API to do things like debugging. Another nice thing about the nested container API is that I think we allow execute to dynamically create nested container versus like a Kubernetes pod. You have to statically predefine those container when you specify the pod spec. So, but here, like I think we allow executor to do more smart logic, and that's more flexible than what's there in Kubernetes.
Question. So in this nested like container hierarchy, how would the process hierarchy look like though? So like would you mean like so in this case the Nginx container, would it also include like a kind of containerizer process as PIT one, or how's that like?
So so we're gonna have a init process which called Mesos containerizer launch, which is gonna be the PIT one inside the PIT namespace. And then that Mesos containerizer launch helper process is going to fork exact actual user processes. But the namespace is properly nested. So if you look at the nested container Nginx here, so it's properly, if you use PIT namespace isolator, it's properly nested. Its PIT namespace is properly nested underneath the top level executor container.
Yeah. Also. Are we able to customize like what namespaces we need to opt in and out?
Oh yeah, sure. You can, like if you don't use PIT namespace isolator, we're not going to do anything about PIT namespace. So all the containers going to share the same host level PIT namespace.
Yeah, yeah. So in this case, I'm talking about like the nested ones. So can I kind of isolate the PIT namespace for the top level container, and then share like the PIT namespace across within the nested containers?
Yeah, I think it's up to the isolator to decide what's the semantics of a nested container. So if you want your custom logic, you can actually build your own, like say PIT namespace isolator to based on the label of the container or something else to decide how to do the like what namespace you want to enter. Do you want a new PIT namespace, or you want the same namespace because you want to do debugging, something like this.
Cool. How is this semantics like exposed to the users?
What's the semantics exposed to user? Actually, like it depends on how operator configure your agent. So it depends on the isolators you use.
Okay.
I think what he's asking is, when you launch a nested container, can you specify what namespaces you want to enter versus share? And the answer is right now you can't really do that from the user's perspective.
Okay.
Right. So the answer is yeah, no.
Exactly what goes on, but so we're in the process of building multiple classes of containers, where the default one would be share all the namespaces except the PID and the mount namespace. Those get cloned new for your nested container. That's the pod use case. And we're now building a new class of nested containers called debug, which will enter all namespaces rather than clone any of them.
Okay. So that's some kind of predefined set of rules instead of like a more flexible customization on the composition.
Yeah, but you can actually define your own isolator to be more customized.
Got it.
You could hook in your own isolator if you wanted.
Got it.
So it's an agent level configuration rather than per container configuration that you could do right now.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, so for example, the C group isolator right now, all the nested containers share the same C group as the parent container. We can potentially introduce a flag to C group isolator to say you have a policy, you want the nested container to, so basically if a Boolean flag say if you want the nested container to be in a separate nested C group, or you want that to be the same parent C group. So you can actually have control flags on those isolators to properly do configuration. We can support that. We can make it more flexible, and it's always up to the operator to configure those. And the user should not be aware of those things, because I'm a user. I don't want to care about like what C groups my product is going to be.
Yeah.
So a couple questions. First, how does authentication authorization done on agent level to make sure other entities not impersonating the executor to run the nested container?
So we have the same authentication authorization mechanism as the operator API. So you can think of the agent API as the operator API that it has the same authentication authorization mechanism. But I think, Vinod, do you want to comment on that? I think Greg is working on that.
I'll let Greg comment on it.
Yeah, we're designing executor authentication currently. So the operator API is authentication enabled, but the default executor does not currently authenticate. So we're adding authentication to the executor API, and we'll be implementing authentication in the default executor with authorization to follow sometime.
Hold on, does it apply to operator API or the executor API?
I'm sorry?
Or what you described, does it apply to executor API, V1 executor API, or the V1 operator API? Because these are two different API endpoints.
Yeah, it'll apply to both. The default executor hits both of those API endpoints to accomplish its work. Like it subscribes to the executor API and then launches message containers to the operator API. So it'll be authenticating with both.
So this implies that in the future, any custom executor we need to run, they need to be able to understand how to authenticate themselves against the executor API.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be HTTP based.
Yeah, HTTP based.
Just like schedulers need to understand how to authenticate with V1 scheduler, we expect executors to understand how to authenticate with V1 executor. It's all same HTTP, so once they know how to do HTTP auth, they should be able to do either of the APIs.
The second question is, how does the scheduler know, what kind of a signal scheduler receive about the nested container launching and termination? In what cases it gets something and what cases it doesn't?
Right now, for the default executor case, we do nested containers for tasks. So each task gets its own nested container when you use default executor. So there the signal is the status update. When the nested container launches, it looks at the launch status and then sends a task running. But if there are more arbitrary levels of nesting, there is no mechanism to signal that. It has to be out of band or through framework messages or something like that. There is no nested container specific events flowing through the system.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's good or bad, but just confirming the behavior.
So actually, I have two questions from my side. Is the containerizer like a launcher process kind of pit isolated out of the pit namespace space as a shim, or is it still going to be the pit one of the container?
Yeah, so I think Kevin just created a ticket today. So the plan is to move that containerizer launch helper process out of the pit namespace so that we can allow users to run things like init, like some other init, like systemd inside their container, because systemd is not that great if they're not. It is not like pit one, so we need to support that case.
Awesome.
Yeah, so the plan is to do that.
Awesome. Yeah.
Again, that's the plan. It's not possible right now.
Cool. Yeah, but I discussed them in the containerizer channel like last week. Cool. Yeah, and also for the nested containers, do we also have any semantics to specify the nested containers dependencies?
Right now, no.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's up to the executor. You can always write your custom executor, and then you can embed the dependency somewhere in the data of your task info. Then you can do your own dependency tracking.
Yeah, but the task API itself, doesn't current, but there are plans to do it, but we haven't even designed that. So right now it's up to the executor to figure out the dependency.
Cool.
So in theory, you could just fork the default executor and encode the dependencies inside that.
Yeah, in the task info or somewhere, you need to encode the dependencies between the task and the task group, for example, and then have the executor understand that and launch it.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
Cool. Any other questions about the nested containers, task groups? Cool.
Good. Thanks, G, for doing that. I think that was helpful for some of you and me. So we have about half an hour. I wanted to go through the roadmap, the areas that we didn't get to last time. and figure out should they stay there, should we take it out, are they done, etc. So those are the red parts. Let me.
So I updated all the tickets. I linked all the
Okay, right.
tickets. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's awesome. Thank you.
I guess I didn't go through the medium term ones.
Sorry.
Yeah, I didn't go through the medium term tickets.
Yeah. So there's stuff in here that I'm not sure what the status of it is. So let's try to get through these. I don't know, next 10, 15 minutes.
Should we just make sure the near term is actually up to date? Are there any other new stuff that you're working on that's
I
not?
don't know, it's hard to see, it's just got the ticket number. What are each of those things?
Can you actually
I think I could.
look at the like just the view instead of edit mode? Obviously, just open it in incognito mode or something.
There you go.
Yeah.
Can I
Can we make it a little smaller?
Cool.
Better?
No, that's good.
So these aren't ordered in any way, are they?
No,
I don't
not
think so.
ordered. So partitioner, that's happening. Windows, that's happening, right? Joseph, still happening. Allocator performance. What did we decide to do there, Ben? We wanted to split this, close something, or what was the conclusion here last time?
We were gonna close, well, we were gonna wait for Jacob's patch, which does the patch.
Okay,
I
and
don't know if that landed.
okay, who's shepherding that one?
Well, I was shepherding, but I mean, I'm letting Ian from Apple commit it.
Okay, alright,
Ian's on the call.
Ian's on the call, yeah.
Ian, sure.
Ian, do you know about this ticket? Are you aware of it?
He's unmuted, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, we can't hear you. If you're. Okay, let's come back to it.
Okay, GPUs,
GPUs.
is this still happening, something happening?
Yeah, we
there?
had a 3-hour meeting with the guys working on this yesterday, and the patches still aren't done yet.
Okay,
So it's still happening, it's just being iterated on.
and shared resources, I think that's still happening, the improvements. GC layers, G, that's happening.
Yeah, I think Zhitao is adding some metrics for that first, and then we're gonna iterate on how to do the garbage collection later.
Okay, cool. OCI, I guess that's happening. It's in
Yeah,
progress.
that's happening with IBM.
Okay. Auto backend,
Yeah, so that there's a patch already for that one. Just need to go through. Probably need to rebase and probably commit that one as soon as possible.
What does that mean?
Basically, right now, yeah, go ahead, Gilbert.
Oh, I have a patch for that, and so currently we use the copy backend as default backend for the provisioning for unified containerization. So, but ideally, we want to use the overlay FS as a default backend if it is available. If not, we just look for the AUFS backend if there's such a module in the Linux kernel.
this is basically how to provision the file system for the image.
Yeah. So we should.
Why is it called auto backend?
So we should have a smart mechanism to choose the right backend for the
Auto
user.
discovery.
So if you have one, use that one. If you don't, try to find this other one.
Yeah.
Okay. But right now it's just hard coded as the.
So right now it's use the copy backend by default, which is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now it's just like operator needs to specify that on the flag, say backend equals to copy, backend equals to overlay. It's just like a burden for operator. Like it would be great if we can just have backend equals to auto and the Mesos pick the right one for that.
Okay, cool.
R limit, is it not accepted yet, G?
Well, I think our limit is done. I mean, we just need to add the documentation.
Okay, so we should at least be in reviewable then.
Yeah.
Open.
Okay. Can you transition that later, G?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
CNI, that's happening.
What is that? I think it's like some of the remaining work on CNI is like adding like a statistics support on CNI, and I think Amanash is working on that one.
He is.
Is this the epic or what is it?
Yeah, it's the epic.
This is the epic, I think.
Yeah.
This is the whole epic about like supporting CNI in Mesos. I think we've done most of the work. And we recently need to do some other stuff related to CNI. I just like this is like a umbrella ticket for CNI support.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that's active.
Mm-hmm.
Single namespace, that's active, looks like.
Yeah, I think Halstan sent out a review for that one, and we need to iterate on this one, and hopefully we can commit that soon.
Cool.
Okay, improvements, that's not accepted. Is that not actually work on?
No, we are actually working on this. I think Halstan has a design doc somewhere. I look at the design doc and made some comment today, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, Halstan is on the call. Maybe he can comment on this.
How's that?
Yeah, I'm working on this.
Okay, can you transition the ticket to in progress?
Sorry?
Can you transition the ticket to in progress? Right now it says open.
Oh, okay. I can change to the in progress.
Okay.
What are these improvements? What are they?
Yeah, what are the improvements?
What are the improvements that you're making to this?
So we need to support all the other subsystems. And I also propose that we also support a case where like we can do just C groups isolator without specifying the subsystems. So it just basically pick up all the subsystems supported on the system.
Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Testing from what's happening, Joseph? In the near term? Okay. CMake, I guess that's happening. Is someone working on it actively?
Wait, what about the Mesos CLI?
CLI, that's still happening, but it's not active.
It's on pause at the moment because of priority, not because of we're not planning on doing it.
Okay,
Should
but it's
we
still
move
there.
it? Should we move it to medium term, or is it, I guess the near term is still like in 3 months, I guess.
Yeah.
That seems right.
Okay, so we still plan to work on it as soon as. So is there the stuff that you're working on here for the attached container stuff?
I've never put anything here, no.
Okay, so we should probably add stuff that most of us are actually working on this quarter, which is.
I saw a Mesos support for container attach and then container injector.
Yeah, the attach and exit.
Oh, okay, it is there. Okay.
I didn't put it there. Though.
Okay, I probably put it. Okay, operator API view. What else? Sorry, it's CD based. Who's working? Is that happening? Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Task group support improvements. I guess the only improvement I think right now that we might be working on is the restart policy that Apple guys are going to work on, right, Ian? And a bunch of tech debt in the.
We have many tech debt for the past, so it's ongoing.
But we're not actually working on.
I'm working on the test.
You are?
Yeah.
Is that attached to this epic?
Yes, there's some ticket on this epic.
Hey, Ian, we still can't hear you. You might have to like rejoin the Hangout or something.
Yeah. Alright, so operator API improvements, are there, we are doing something?
It's still happening. In fact, we should try to upload the other BOA by 1.2.
Okay, scheduler API, are you working on it?
Yeah, so it's just there because we have to write the benchmark and then do all the performance controls.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you all wrote some benchmarks, right?
Yeah, I already like submitted it for review, but I also need to create like other tickets for the performance that you work with.
Okay, still active.
Yeah.
Attach container exec, that's like the biggest thing most of us here are working on. Add support for frameworks to receive resources for multiple roles. That's Ben, you're working on that one, right, actively? Multi-role, yeah.
Design has been published.
Okay.
Is that what you sent that extra?
Yeah. And the hierarchical row. Okay. Client ID.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Is it in progress or is it?
No.
No, okay.
But
Next couple months, okay. Agent secrets, that's what Greg is working on. I'll change that to just, I guess, execute out there, yeah. we spread that executor auth and have another epic for secrets for fetching, because I think here,
2 epics, you think?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
it's not the same design anymore.
Okay. Yeah, when I adjust the JIRAs, I can edit this or be able to do it if I don't have to.
So that's the one that Gita that you were asking about, the executor auth stuff. So we are actually working on it. Greg is working on it, and he'll probably send design doc soon.
Yeah, keep your eyes out on the dev list. There should be a design doc soon.
Hopefully next week we'll have a design doc out. Parallel execution.
This is Benjamin.
Benjamin on the line.
Is that who's shepherding that one?
Till was doing it before.
So, yeah. This is more for like ongoing like fixes, test fixes, so that parallel execution tests actually work reliably.
Okay.
So Till shepherded that initial patch
Yeah.
for the, what did he call it, the test runner?
Okay.
I assume he would just keep shepherding it forward for all of you. Is that right, Benjamin?
I mean, that's almost done, basically, right? And everything else is just flaky tests, basically, at this point, and improvements, which are not scheduled.
So we probably move that then from medium term if someone is working on it.
Okay.
Anything else anyone is working on that's not reflected here?
I'm not sure. I think that concept is not part of the sequence improvement and block IO support. I'll be taking on that.
Okay, and that's probably already improvements to secret. Yeah, that's already there.
Which one?
The improvements to secret.
I think that improvements to C groups that's like kind of a umbrella
for block IO and everything. Okay. Oh yeah, Ian, do you want to add the restartable task stuff?
Should that be a separate? Wait.
Is there an epic for it?
The restartable task is already there, isn't it?
Is there? I didn't see it.
I don't see restartable.
That's probably not.
That's not what you want?
So Ian, you probably want to add that epic here.
Okay.
Or just to tell us the ticket and we can add it. Okay, that's one of the big thing that's happening.
Okay.
Ability to restart tasks when the agent is like locally restart tasks. The design doc is the design doc out. The design doc is out. Send it to the dev list.
Yeah. So we're gonna do some work to improve it based on our meeting yesterday, and we'll announce again.
Okay. All right. And medium term, what else?
So I see a few things here, like pluggable fetcher. I don't know like who added it or what.
Oh, I did. So pluggable fetcher is like right now fetcher is not pluggable, which means like you cannot plug in your own fetching mechanism like a P2P. So I think the goal here is trying to make fetcher pluggable so that you can plug in your arbitrary fetching mechanism, like using P2P, using any arbitrary mechanism to fetch the artifacts or Docker images.
Okay. Do we have any plans to work on this within 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, sure. It's medium term, right? It's not in near term, but in 3 to 6 months, yeah, most likely.
Okay. Do you want to bother putting names beside medium term stuff?
Should we even discuss the medium term anything or just again?
Yeah, it is. Unless there's some things that we're thinking about in the medium term that is work. One thing that I would put that we're thinking in the near term, the medium term is like probably federation.
Federation.
Yeah, I don't know if there's anything for here. Yeah, probably want to.
Oh yeah, don't delete.
This is the master federation stuff.
Yeah, we have been having some meetings, but there's nothing concrete there yet to even call out anything. But something that's happening slowly.
Unified caching for artifacts, image layers, URI artifacts. That sounds like G.
Yeah, so yeah, I add that too. So I think the idea is like right now we have fetcher cache, we have image cache, we have different type of cache in Mesos. The goal is trying to unify them because all of them are artifacts. We should have a unified way to cache those artifacts in Mesos. So that's the umbrella ticket for that one.
Okay, sounds good. I mainly wanted to just capture like whether we should take it out or move it into near future.
Yeah, I think event pass we can remove it. I don't think we're doing event pass anymore.
Okay.
Just the streaming API we have now. We don't have plans for that.
Okay.
First class resources. I don't even think we have any inclination of doing it in the medium term. How we should know.
We want to do it at some point.
Yeah, how to do the far down. Do we have far down there? There's no far down. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Create a far term right now. No time limit.
But I guess far term is like pretty much everything in the Jira that's not here.
Yeah, it's a bit. Yeah. Let's just stick to this for now.
Okay, culture checks, I think definitely you wanted to work on. The health checks, did we have something? I think Alex or someone is working actively on it, right?
The health check stuff?
There's an epic with a bunch of tickets in it.
Yeah, but it's not in the near term. It closed?
Yeah, it supports for TCP and HTTP health checks.
It support, and then there's ticket for supporting HTTP health checks or command health checks. That's one that is working on right now.
Yeah, I think this is part of the debugging work as well, because if we solve the debugging problem, we also solve the command health check problem. So I think it's part of the task group improvement.
Okay.
Because you need to be in the same PID namespace, same as for debug containers.
Yeah.
So core chunks we'll work on.
Okay. Is there anything else in the agenda that you want to talk about, or is this it?
No, I just wanted to give 10 minutes for opening up discussions for anything that people want to bring up.
Okay.
But the remaining three here, deprecate Docker containerizer in favor of unified containerizer with Docker support. Gee, I'm guessing this is still
probably not happening within 6 months.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen in 6 months.
Yeah. Oh no, okay. Resource allocation and optimistic offers. Probably Ben.
It might still happen in 6 months.
You think it'll happen within? Do you see it in the horizon?
But we'll probably start working on it in 6 months, right?
Possibly. It's definitely not going to be done in 6 months, I would say.
Yeah, okay, not done.
Neither of those?
Let's say we should leave money if they're going to get started though.
Yeah, I think they started for sure, right?
Wait, which one started?
I'm just saying we should probably leave them on here if they're at least going to get started in 6 months.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Protections for sure.
I think so.
Benchmark tests, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, I think these ones, well. Yeah,
Do we
these
have
ones
any
talked
benchmark tests right now?
We have benchmark tests, but we just don't run them.
They're just not running in the CI.
Because they run forever, pretty much. They're never stopping tests.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's nothing else on the agenda, but let's
open it up, yes?
Yeah. So it's 51, yeah, we have 9 minutes. If anyone have anything they want to bring up.
Questions?
Anybody online have anything to bring up? No? Okay. Gee, thanks again for doing the demo.
Oh, no worries.
Do you want to solicit demos for the next?
Yeah, that's a good idea actually. So I want to start doing a bit more demos, maybe 1 or 2 per week, 2 per meeting, as opposed to just 1 demo. I'm thinking something along the lines of something similar to what G did for us, where we have some new feature that people want to learn about and figure out how it works and things like that. I think we could also do demos of things that already exist in the code base that people maybe should know about or would be useful if they knew about. So I could, bootstrap that demo and talk about some of the utilities that are available and and just kind of orient the meeting for us, for the devs, right? As opposed to kind of like a user meeting where we talk about, I don't know, use cases, stuff like that. I think we could talk about code in this meeting and different best practices and patterns that we use. And,
Like, should we also use this meeting to like kind of review design docs for a bit, or would that like be too take too much time?
If someone puts it on the agenda, we could do it. How about that? Instead of just saying we're going to do it, if someone says, I want to talk about this piece of that design doc.
Yeah, but I'm saying like, should we have a culture of proposing design docs for people to come in the community sync and spend 15 minutes, kind of go over a picture and talk about stuff so that
I
they
think
get more feedback in person.
Yeah. The other thing is might be like some feature request, like some company wants to really want to have some feature, and it will be a great time to discuss those feature requests that you really want to get in, and can discuss that.
Okay. Yeah, in terms of like design docs and stuff, I think it would be useful if we talk about, you know, the different components and how they interact and what they should watch out for. Some of the principles in Mesos for them to adhere to and follow. Right? Things like that I think would be very useful. In terms of actually like evaluating a new design doc with 20, 25 people in the room, I think might not be the best use of our time. But if there's something, a topic of discussion within a design doc, then yeah, I think we can definitely talk about it.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Well, and 5 minutes early. Thanks for coming. Everyone who joined online and in Europe, super late. Have a good night. See ya.
Bye. Take care.
See you guys.
See you guys.